Hi, my name is Lexi, Jong, and welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about skincare. And I'm actually going to have two skincare videos over the next couple of weeks. And today, in part one, we're going to be talking about some skincare empties of things I've recently tried. Some of them are sample sizes, but then we're also going to be talking about products that I have used long-term over the past year. Right now, for the past three and a half weeks, I have been using Chantecaille skincare and testing some of those items out. So I'll be talking about that in part two. But first, I wanted to go ahead and share with you some of my favorite products and just my thoughts on things I've tried. Now, I am not an expert in any way on skincare. I have looked into a lot of skincare products over the years. My skin is normal to slightly dry, and it's actually in really good shape right now, but that has not always been the case. When I was younger, like teens, early 20s, the acne was bad. And, I actually had a sensitivity to, retinol and products like that. So my skin didn't do well on that. And I basically just went really clean with the skincare, kind of very simple ingredients. Finally, it started to clear up. And since then, it's really been, for me, about finding things that work well. And I think during that time period, and maybe a little bit after that, I also kind of broke down my moisture barrier on my skin. And my skin was incredibly sensitive. And this was actually a time period in my life where I switched completely to mineral makeup. Only used mineral makeup because I was having so many reactions to ingredients, and I'm not even sure which ingredients they were, but I had so many reactions that it just wasn't worth the risk for me at that time to kind of play around with things. And it wasn't for about, I don't know, at least 5 years before I ventured back into traditional makeup. And ever since that time, I have had some allergic reactions to certain brands that I stay away from now. So even now, certain brands of makeup I completely avoid because if I don't get an allergic reaction right away when using it, if I use it a couple days in a row, I do end up having some like swelling and redness occur in that area. And, sometimes it gets to the point where my face just completely swells up. So definitely, your miles may vary. Everybody knows the saying, skincare is a personal thing and it varies widely from person to person. Everybody finds what works best for them. So these are just my personal opinions. I first want to start off with some Sisley items that I have used for a very long time. So I've actually been using Sisley skincare for a bit over a year now, and I'm still using it occasionally right now, but since I've been testing the Chantecaille, I try to just stick with one particular brand during that time, just so I can be completely sure of how things work. And I also try to kind of roll things out slowly, so if I do have a reaction, I can identify what product is causing any irritation. So with Sisley, I have been using this floral toning lotion, and this is 8.4 ounces. And it has lasted a very long time so far. I have used this liberally, and personally, I don't really like to use cotton pads or anything. I don't like the disposable ones because, I don't like the environmental effect of using them. So when I do use something, I'll use one of those little reusable bamboo rounds that you throw in the washing machine. But for the toners, most of the time, I really just prefer pouring a little bit in my hand and kind of tapping it or splashing it on my face. So when I was using complete Sisley skincare, I was using this after washing my face, so morning and night. This toner has a light floral scent, and it's nice. It doesn't bother me. I have had no effects or anything with this toner. I also don't know whether it actually did anything either, but it does, feel nice on my skin. And they say that when you get out of the shower, you finish washing your face, you have 2 minutes to get your skincare down. So they recommend putting a toner on first because it kind of slows down the evaporation of the water, which will help your skincare ingredients absorb into your skin. And when I say they, I just mean experts in the field. I've read some, stories and research papers and things. So that is, one of the purposes of toner. Another purpose is, you know, to adjust the pH of your skin, especially after you cleanse it. The pH of your skin, you know, you've removed all of your natural oils essentially, or a lot of them. So this kind of helps return your skin to a state that is at a good pH level to absorb your skincare ingredients. This toner is made in France, and this bottle, it's a squeeze top, but you know, this bottle here is rather firm, not super firm, but since I like to pour this in my hand, it is a little messy doing that because it kind of like dribbles out. So personally, I prefer a different bottle style, but this works just fine. Would I purchase this again? I would. I really enjoy it. One more item that I forgot to mention that I have still been using a couple times a week in the shower, and that's why I forgot it, because I left it in my shower, but that's the Sisley Buff and Scrub Polish, Cleansing Polish, whatever it's called. Put a picture of that up here, but basically it's an exfoliating cleansing gel, and I wouldn't repurchase that one because it's okay, but I don't think it's worth the price. I know a lot of people really like that one though. For me, I feel like the exfoliating bits feel a little too rough. Once you get past the first few uses, it seems kind of like they're more concentrated right towards that opening when you first squeeze it out. And then, you know, it kind of spreads out and you don't get quite so many every time you use it. And I think it's nice. It's just, it's not a favorite. I don't notice anything special from it. And again, I do think it feels a little bit too rough for me personally. My next step was to use the Sisley Girl Anti-Age Serum. This is a concentrated serum. You can see my bottle here is cracked because when I finished this up, I tried very, very hard to open this bottle and get out any residue that was left. And I even tried like cracking it open, but I was unsuccessful. So this did last at least 9 months. So 9 to 10 months, somewhere around that range, this bottle lasted me. And it's a serum, so I would put this on after my toner and I would kind of let it sit on my skin for a minute or two. And for about 4 or 5 months of use, the first 4 or 5 months that I had this, I used this both morning and night. And I always made sure to concentrate it in my little line here. And I have to say, while using this, it definitely made my lines in my forehead less pronounced when I used this regularly. When I stopped using it because I ran out, you know, the lines started to become more evident, but it did help while I was using it. The last several months of me having that serum, I also purchased this. This is the hydra-global serum, and this is an anti-aging hydration booster. So I purchased this during the winter because I really wanted to add a little bit more hydration to my skin. So then I moved this to morning use, and I actually used the anti-aging at night. And I still have about half a bottle of this. This is 30 milliliters. It's a very nice serum. And here, this, you can see it's like a jelly consistency. And it just kind of sinks into your skin. I wouldn't say it's like super moisturizing, but it definitely did help the texture of when I layered all of my products. And this has a light floral scent as well. My next step has always been the ecological compound, and this is a lightweight moisturizer. And you know, this is for, it says this for all skin types, morning and evening. You can use this underneath other moisturizers. And during the summertime, I would just use this and then I'd put sunscreen on top. But during the colder months of the year, I would use this, let this sit on my skin for a minute or two, and then I was going in with this all day, all year moisturizer. And this is a really thick moisturizer. So actually I should show you both of these. So this is all day, all year, and it's very thick. So what I would actually do with this is rub some between my fingers here and pat it on, because it's so thick that it felt like too much rubbing to kind of actually rub it into my face. So I kind of tap it on afterwards. And here's the ecological compound, and you can see that this is going to be a much thinner lotion-like consistency. And the thing that I like about the ecological compound is that it really does kind of sink into my skin. So after a few minutes of having it on, I don't feel that stickiness from the lotion. For me, the all day, all year always remains a little sticky, like I have something on afterwards. So it's not my favorite lotion. It's nice and hydrating, and I like that aspect of it. I really like to use it during the winter time, but for me, it's not a great all year round moisturizer because I just don't like having that feeling of having lotion on my face. So for me, this is okay, but I wouldn't repurchase this. I have found other lotions and moisturizers from Sisley that I prefer. So I would switch to something different. And you can see I still have some left in here. So I'm going to use this up first. Another lightweight moisturizer that I've tried from Sisley, and this is just a sample. This is the Sisley Youth Anti-Pollution. This is their Blue Light Shield Moisturizer. It's just a nice lightweight moisturizer. This is great for the summer. Whether it really has any protection from blue light, who's to really say? So it's not like I've noticed any difference or anything, but it is a nice lightweight moisturizer. So this is something I would consider in the future. I actually threw it away, but I have tried several deluxe size samples of the Velvet Nourishing Cream, and I believe this line came out about a year ago, and I really love the moisturizer from that line. The one thing that I don't like is the scent. It's kind of, I'm not even sure what the scent is. It's kind of a fruity scent, and it's not like it smells bad. It actually smells good, but it's just a little overpowering for me, and I don't really like having such strong scents, particularly in my skincare. But the moisturizer itself, I started using it last winter when my skin was going through some really rough dry patches, and it was like a miracle cream. I really love the way that worked. So I've been kind of on the fence as to whether or not I'll repurchase that during the winter, or rather purchase it. Because again, I had some jar samples, the deluxe sizes. So I've used a few of those over the months, and I really like the actual cream. So I don't know. We'll have to see what condition my skin is into the winter, but if it gets really bad, I might purchase that just because it really did work so well on me during the winter. I just wish it wasn't so strongly scented. Those were my main Sisley items that I would use on a regular basis. And I've also tried some samples of some other things. This is the Phyto Blanc concentrate. This is the Pure Bright Activating Serum. And obviously I used a little sample packet. I didn't have any reactions from this, but whether it does anything, who's to say? This is way too small to tell, but it had a really nice texture, and I would be interested in trying a full size of this. This Sisley, this is the Supremia Yeux La Nuit. This is the anti-aging eye serum at night, and this has a lotion texture, and honestly it's okay. It feels like a lightweight moisturizer. It's not really as thick or hydrating as I was expecting, but it was fine. I also didn't notice anything with it. I've used 2 of these size things, which honestly, they last me a really long time because, you really only need a little bit. And then another item I've tried from Sisley sample-wise is the Black Rose Eye Serum or Eye Contour Fluid. And this was really nice. This is a really nice lightweight eye moisturizer. I really do like this and would be interested in purchasing a full size possibly in the future. Now, skincare wise from Sisley, some of my favorite items are some of their masks. I tried this sample here of the Express Flower Gel. Honestly, this I didn't really notice anything with. This is a moisturizing and toning mask, and I've tried using this. This one says to apply on the face and neck, leave on for 3 minutes, and then tissue off. And I've tried that. I've also tried leaving it on overnight. I just haven't noticed any difference using this, so I would not purchase this particular mask. One of the cult favorite items is the Black Rose Cream Mask. This is a really nice hydrating mask. It's basically a super intensive, facial moisturizer that you can leave on overnight. This is to leave on for 10 to 15 minutes and then remove excess with a cotton pad and just keep it away from your eyes. So when I put this on, I'll put on some eye cream first, and then I'll spread this over my face and neck. And sometimes I will leave this on, and I always like to do masks when I'm cleaning the bathrooms because it's such a chore, and it doesn't matter what I look like. So I'll either do that, or I would put on a lighter layer and leave this on overnight. And I like using this a lot overnight, particularly during the winter. So this really does help hydrate my skin. It's a nice mask. I like this. I would purchase this again. However, I really like this mask. This one is actually my favorite. This is the Hydra Flash. This is their beta hydroxy acid mask. And this one you put on, you leave on for 10 minutes, tissue it off. And with this one, I really do notice some skin brightening. And that's why I like it. I just feel like my skin looks a bit brighter and, you know, just a little bit clearer after using this. It's not going to be huge radical difference, but it's enough for me to actually notice on my face. So I really like this. And, you know, this actually looks like a pretty full tube already. And I've used a ton of this, you know, and so I haven't used masks too much during the summer. I just don't really put masks on very much during the summer, but during the rest of the year, I usually use this about once a week. When I started to run low on my Sisley items, I decided to try Retrouve. And Retrouve is a really nice line. It's also the most expensive skincare line that I have ever tried. So I first started off with the cleanser, and the cleanser here comes in this container. Size is deceiving. This is really only 1.6 fluid ounces. So when you take off this cap, the actual bottle is much smaller. The cap is the size of the bottle. So I really love this cleanser though. It has, I would pour some out, but I don't want to waste it, but it has a balm texture. And what I do when I take off my makeup, I take one of those bamboo rounds, I saturate it with the Bioderma Sensibio. This is the only micellar water that I've been able to use because my eyes they're too sensitive. So this one works for me. So I'll saturate a cotton pad, remove my makeup with that, let my skin dry, because the point of Retrouve is that they don't really use a lot of water or anything. So I spoke to their representative, and you want your skin to actually be dry when you use this. So I let my skin dry after using the Bioderma, and then I take a pump of this, I spread it all over, kind of rub it in for about 30 seconds or so, just, you know, in a circular motion. And then I take I always clean my face over a bathtub because I can't help but get water everywhere when I use the sink. So I take a washcloth and I get it wet with hot water, and then I wipe everything off, splash my face with hot water, splash it a little with cool water, dry off. And then once my skin is completely dry, I go in with the Nutrient Face Serum. Now, when I purchased this, so I purchased the cleanser first, used it for a few weeks, really enjoyed it. So I purchased the cleanser at the beginning of May, end of April, that time frame when they had a big sale then. And then I purchased this a few weeks later. They had another sale. So this is the Nutrient Face Serum. This is the 15 milliliter size. So this is a smaller jar. And they were out of the big one at the time, but through Retrouve, if you put two of the smaller sizes in, they'll give you the same price as the larger one. So I think that's always a nice touch. Now, one of the things about them is they package everything in their black packaging, black glass jars, to make sure that you're not getting sunlight and deactivating any of the ingredients. And I absolutely love this Nutrient Face Serum. It's basically this vitamin serum that you put on your skin, and it takes the place of any like serums and stuff that you would need to use. So it has like everything all in one on it, and it's moisturizing enough that you can use this as a lightweight moisturizer. So during the summer, until a few weeks ago, I was using this exclusively as my moisturizer. So I would wash my face with the cleansing balm, let it dry, and then put this on. No toner or anything. And this has a really nice lightweight texture. It feels a little sticky right after you put it on, but you wait 5 minutes and it completely sinks into the skin. Now, will I repurchase that again? I'm so on the fence because I absolutely love the product. However, as I mentioned, I purchased 2 of the 15 milliliter jars. And when I spoke to them, they said people typically will repurchase every 9 months. And I used up the first one in, I think it was 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I'll have to add up the weeks, but it was just over a month. So if this skincare is only going to last me a few months, then it's just gonna be out of my budget. So unfortunately, it didn't last long enough. So I did take it out, and this is like one of those vacuum sealed bags. So this is what you actually have in the jar. So when you use it, take it out of the jar, you can see this is like, you know, all scrunched up and all the product's pretty much out, but I did cut it open and I got about 1 use left. Now the reason I'm disappointed with how long this product lasted is because I expected it to last longer after speaking with a representative, but you know, it's not like I used a ton. I used 1 pump in the morning, 1 pump at night. And if it's supposed to last longer than that, then they either need to change their pump sizes or, you know, something. But it's not like I went excessive with the product use. So I was really disappointed with how long it lasted, but unfortunately my skin really, really loves this. This was actually the first product that I have used on my skin where, you know, typically after I apply something, my skin is red for a few minutes first, but with this, it really isn't. I have no extra redness, and my skin actually looked better than ever when I first started using this, and well, while I was continuing to use it as well. So whether I'll repurchase this or not, I'm not sure. We'll see after I finish testing out more skincare. The other Retrouve product that I purchased is the Revitalizing Eye Concentrate. And this is the full size, the 30 milliliters. And this bottle is going to last me forever. And, you know, this actually is a 12-month expiration date. So I think it's actually going to last me longer than a year to use this on my eyes. This is a balm type texture. And it's really kind of like, you know, like the Neosporin ointment, like that kind of thickness, or not quite Aquaphor, more I think more like the Neosporin. And you just need the tiniest bit, tap it into the eyes. If you let it sit for a long time, for me, it will soak in. It supposedly soaks in pretty quickly in other people, but for me, it really remains more of this like jelly type texture. So I only really use it at night, but it's a very nice eye cream or eye serum. I really like it. One of the things to note about this particular product is, I don't remember what it's called, but their ultra intensive face moisturizer is the same as this, except this one has removed some of the ingredients that were not eye safe. So you can actually use this on your face as an intensive facial moisturizer as well. So I have used this mixed into the Nutrient Face Serum, just kind of mix them, put it on my face before bed, and my skin looks great in the morning. So I really do love this product, and this, you know, is really gonna last forever. One more thing from Sisley that I actually forgot to mention was this eye contour mask, and I got this a few months ago, and I actually had the tip from somebody that you could use this as an eye cream. And this is technically an eye mask, and it's basically a lighter weight version of the Retrouve serum, like texture wise. So it's a little bit thinner, but they're both kind of that balmy texture, and not balmy, like a balmy ointment texture. And I do really like this. This is good for, it says to apply in a thick layer, leave on for 10 minutes and remove, but you can also, if you look at their website, they also mention you can leave it on overnight as well. So what I would do is I would put this on under my eyes and on my wrinkles up here and leave this on overnight, and it sinks in throughout the night. So I don't really, you know, have any like texture or anything, or, you know, any of the product left on my skin when I wake up in the morning, but it really does seem to help reduce some of the puffiness in my eyes. So if I'm having a day where my eyes are really puffy and not looking their best, I put this on at night, and in the morning they really do look a lot better. So this mask I really like, and I think this is a great value if you want to use this as an eye cream too, because this was 30 milliliters and it works great. So this is, I think, a real value. All right, let's move on to some samples of things that I have tried over the last few months. This is actually not new, but I did use another sample jar of the Guerlain Abbé Royale. This is the day cream, and I like this cream. It's a nice lightweight moisturizer. It does have, you know, the typical Guerlain scent, but it doesn't have any, it doesn't cause any irritation with my skin. So I like it, but I don't love it. So, you know, I use it when I get the samples, but I'm not going to purchase it. A couple of body scrubs that I use. This one here is from Diptyque, and this is the smoothing body polish, and this is the Moroccan body polishing scrub. They were both nice, very, you know, they did what a body scrub's supposed to do. No issues with either of them. I did prefer the Diptyque a little bit more over the Moroccan, but they were both very nice. I don't typically buy body scrubs though. I'm too lazy to kind of use them in the shower. I don't have a lot of time to shower in the mornings. So, you know, I try to get in and out as quickly as possible. And a few items from Clé de Peau Beauté, and this was the eye mask Supreme, and this was just like one mask. It comes in like this big sheet, and you know, it's the sheet type that you put on your face. Whenever you have a mask like that, if you save the actual packaging that it comes in, you can get a second or sometimes even a third application of product to kind of sit on your skin. And this was a really nice mask. It was very moisturizing, and again, this was an eye mask, so I actually had enough to use all over my face as well, and I used it. I think I got 3 uses out of this one, but it was nice. Probably not going to repurchase it or purchase it again. I actually got this with one of my Clé de Peau purchases, so I probably wouldn't purchase this myself though. I think overall the Clé de Peau skincare is just a little bit too fragranced for me. I also tried their serum, just a little sample size of this. This is 3 milliliters, so nothing major, but again, I didn't really notice anything with this. I feel like sample sizes, they're really just there to show you whether or not you're going to have any skin irritation, but you're not really going to see benefits from this type of size. The other item I forgot to bring up was I did have a deluxe sample size of their cream cleanser. And the cream cleanser is very nice and moisturizing on the skin. Again, though, it has a very strong scent. So although I like the actual quality of the cleanser and how well it cleans my face and the fact that I don't feel any residue afterwards, I do feel like the scent is too overpowering for me, so I will not be purchasing it. Just a few more items. I did finish up a bottle of the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen, and I like this sunscreen. I have used several bottles of this over the years, but it does have that really heavy silicone feeling, which makes it great to use as a primer before makeup. And the fact that it's clear, you know, that's a really nice touch. So I like it, but I really have been preferring using, you know, a regular sunscreen, a mineral sunscreen on my face. Right now I'm using the Biossance mineral sunscreen, and then using my Surratt primer over top to kind of mattify that instead. But I prefer that over the silicone texture, but I do really like this. And again, this was my 3rd or 4th bottle that I finished up. So it's definitely something that I keep going back to over the years. And last but not least, we have a few products, little deluxe samples from the Biologique Recherche line. So I have the Biologique Recherche Serum de Teint, and I really love that. It's a finishing serum, but sometimes I'll just use it as like, you know, a pretty much barely there foundation. And I love that. I love the way it makes my skin look and the way it makes my skin feel. So I was really interested in trying their skincare. I am still interested in trying the P50, but I tested out a few of these samples that they sent to me with my purchase. Let's start with this sample here. So these samples, first of all, these are made in France, and the expiration date on these sample sizes is 3 months. And this is 4 milliliters. So I was able to get about 2 weeks or so of use out of each of these facial moisturizers. And this first one here is the Restructuring and Anti-Aging Face Cream. So it's the Marine Collagen Cream. And I really wanted to like this one, but I didn't because of the scent. And it's a natural scent, and it doesn't smell that bad when you smell it in the tube, but it's one of those scents that I kind of keep smelling on my face, and I just couldn't really get past it. On top of that, I didn't really notice any like benefits to my skin during the 2 weeks of using this. And so it's just, this one in particular is not for me. The other moisturizer that they sent me is this one. This is the Revitalizing and Brightening Face Cream, the Creme Grand Millésime, not sure how to say it, but I did really like this one. This one, I wish I had a little something left to show you, but it's white. It's a little sparkly or shimmery looking, not glitter, just like some natural shimmer in there. But it does make your face look a little brighter, I think, because of that. It's kind of like if you took a moisturizer and you mixed it with like one of those brightening CC creams from like by Terry or somebody like that. And so it does give you a brighter look, and it was a nice lightweight moisturizer. I did really enjoy this. Again, this one was also 4 milliliters. Used it for a couple weeks. This would be something I would consider in the future, but again, aside from just, you know, a general brightening, I'm not sure what else it did, but it was a very nice lightweight moisturizer. And then the last sample, I actually have probably about one more use left in this, another 4 milliliter tube, but this is the Energizing Facial Mask. So it's the Bio Magic Mask, and this is nice. It's supposed to, says this triple action skincare product mattifies, protects, and purifies the epidermis. It's formula rich in white clay, antioxidant, absorbs the excess sebum to leave the skin clear and radiant. Recommended for dull skin instance, I'm not sure what that means, with dilated pores and or seborrheic skin instance. So this is a nice mask. I like it, and I would consider this in the future. For me, this would only really be something I would use during the summer when my skin gets a little bit oilier with all of the heat. Since it is mattifying, it's not really something, you know, people with dry skin probably don't really need this one, in my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but I thought it was a nice face mask. That sums up all of the skincare products that I have used recently. And again, I have been testing the Chantecaille products for 3 to 3.5 weeks. So I will give you guys my thoughts on those in a week or two. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope this was helpful. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video. Have a great day. Stay safe and healthy.